Hi, welcome to Midweek Conversations with
Hello.
Angelica
Yes, that's me.
and myself, Dennis Verda. And I walked into the building, I was looking all over for Angelica, and I found her asleep underneath a table here. So, are you okay right now?
I haven't left since Sunday. I'm
No,
just kidding.
you've been sleeping in
Yes.
since Sunday right here.
Uh-huh.
Cool. So how's your week been? How's your weekend? Or how was your weekend?
The weekend was good. I really liked seeing a bunch of new people at church on Sunday. That
Yeah,
was
it
so
was
nice.
there was a crowd, both
Yeah.
services.
I was
Yeah,
like,
that
this
was
is
great.
so great. This is so cool. The the atmosphere was so happy, and I don't know, it felt like
Had some great worship music
yes.
that
Oh my
really
goodness.
got people
Yeah, people were
pumped.
like pumped. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was, I don't know, I had a good weekend.
good.
Even though it was kind of chilly and it was a little bit of flurries, but it's Wisconsin, so that's to be expected.
Yeah. You know what I liked about the weekend is that David Michael was teaching,
Yes.
and so I didn't
Is he
have to
Irish?
wake up
Do you know?
early. Do I know if he's Irish? 98.5% according to 23andMe. But at least that's what he reported.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part was Hasidic Jew or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't remember.
So I guess that's what, 1.5%?
That's
But
funny.
that was, yeah, if you didn't see the message yet, David made 6 points. He was going on that whole rebel Jesus deal and followed it with St. Patrick as a rebel.
And he said it was actually the
Made 6 points. It was
yeah.
kind
What
of
did he say? It was like the rebel. It was like more of a mindset, the rebel mindset kind of.
yeah, talking about the rebel mindset.
Yeah.
Right.
Like specifically, which was really cool. So definitely go back and watch that message.
Here are 6 things to kind of look at in the way that you think and
Yeah.
you approach the world.
Yeah.
There was one that stood out to me. Was there one that stood out to you?
Definitely. I mean, there was a lot of good points. But definitely with the Mark chapter 4, verse 30 and on. With
Are you reading notes or are you
I
taking
am
this?
reading notes.
Oh, you cheat.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
The small moments or insignificant things that we approach in life are
If you didn't catch
oftentimes
that, she was doing little scare quotes
insignificant.
down here.
Yeah.
Or some people call them air quotes, but
Air quotes.
scare quotes.
Scare quotes. But anyway, like insignificant things are usually not actually insignificant, and they're usually the most important things, which is really cool because there's so many times like in the kingdom of God where it'll be like a tiny little thing. Ooh,
Oh, can you believe that my phone is ringing?
no way.
Yeah.
And my phone's never went off during this, and
I'm sorry.
and
but
I'm the young
just gonna
adult, so we're breaking stereotypes here. It wasn't me.
I shut it off.
Okay, good.
So now I can't even look anything up if we need to. But
Perfect. It's all gonna be memory. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the little moments that we experience, a lot of times those are the moments where there's some huge thing happening that's like unseen. You know what I'm saying? Like you come into church or whatever and you haven't been to church in a while, and someone just like takes the time to like welcome you and say, "Hello, how are you?" And just that little insignificant moment, becomes this great big thing because you might have been feeling all types of ways. You might have been feeling alone or scared or whatever. And just that person taking that tiny little moment to realize that you exist is like a great thing. It's an amazing thing, but it's not something that like goes viral on TikTok or something. It's just
Right.
a little thing.
Right.
I think the mindset today is like what's the trend or what's the biggest mass following I should get behind, and it's just not that's just not how the kingdom of God works, frankly. Often it doesn't work like that.
But the kingdom of this world does.
The kingdom of this world does.
Let me read what Jesus said. So this is Mark chapter 4, and it starts at verse 30. And it says, "Again, Jesus said, What shall we say the kingdom of God is like? Or what parable shall we use to describe it? It's like a mustard seed, which is the smallest seed you plant in the ground. Yet when planted, it grows and becomes the largest of all garden plants, with such big branches that the birds of the air can perch in its shade. And with many similar parables, Jesus spoke the word to them as much as they could understand. He didn't say anything to them without using a parable, but when he was alone with his own disciples, he explained everything. So, I mean, that last phrase, that last portion from verse 33, it, just reminds us that we don't have all the parables of Jesus. He just says, with many similar parables. And we also don't have all of his explanations, so we're left to kind of sort that out. But
Right.
it's funny, you and I both were on the same page that was one of those moments
Yeah.
moment, because I actually keep mustard seeds in my office, just because there's so many different
Case you need a
things to
snack.
talk about. Yeah, it's a snack. This is proof that Jesus liked brats.
Oh my goodness.
Because we all put mustard, right? We all put some good German mustard on our brats, and a lot of times you see the mustard seeds. And whatever.
That's funny.
But so in case you've never seen a mustard seed, this is how big a mustard seed is, and he compared.
Oh
Oops,
my goodness.
a bunch of mustard seeds just flew around. But here, you want one?
Yeah.
There's a mustard seed.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so
I don't even think you can
you
see
probably
that.
can't see that, but maybe they can zoom in later. But
That would be a crazy zoom.
that would be a crazy
Like,
zoom, and I
what?
hate to know what's on my nose behind it right there. There it is. It's balancing on the tip of my thumb.
Teeny tiny
If you can
little
see that.
lens.
It just fell off.
That'd be some like National Geographic level zooming for that.
But I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? He says, "What shall we say the kingdom of God is like? It's like a mustard seed." And I mean, when I do that hula hoop example, and I say the kingdom of God, I guess I should come out with some tiny ring,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
push against the larger ring. But I mean, it just prompts so many different ideas in my mind. So David was, I think, reminding people. How did you put it? When you come up to somebody and you
And
say
you like
hello.
welcome them. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems so
You acknowledge their
maybe
existence.
insignificant. Yeah. Someone told me that they just want to be seen,
Yeah.
and be acknowledged. And that's something that we do for somebody.
Totally. I think it's that's like a core human, like want or like need actually. Maybe not even a want. Like maybe there's a need to be seen because, we're created to be kind of like communal, to kind of be with one another. So a need actually to function healthily would be to be seen by other people. Yeah, that checks out. Definitely.
Yeah, Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Oh my goodness.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
But there is that need to just to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny because I was able to spend a lot more time at the door.
Yeah.
And after the second service, I think it was, I was talking with someone, but also trying to say goodbye to people as they left. And some kids ran right past me, and I was like, "Hey, give me a," and they blew me off. And somebody else, and I'm like, do they even see me? And finally, someone acknowledged me, and the person I was with was like patting me on the shoulder, saying, "It's okay, Dennis. It's okay."
Aww. The
So
extrovert.
to your point, it was
Yes.
it was important. I mean, I felt, yeah, just say I felt seen. But
Totally.
when someone blows you off, and I'm not saying if it was you, don't worry.
Right.
They weren't intentionally blowing me off, but you know what I mean. But you do have that kind of weird, that weird feeling.
Yeah, that loss feeling.
Yeah. So to remember that the kingdom of God is like that. There was a phrase from small beginnings, greater things. I was at another church body, and they had this beautiful wood relief, and they showed an acorn on the bottom, and then they showed an egg tree. An egg tree.
I was
An
like, what?
acorn and an oak tree.
like-
Sorry, an oak. a big oak tree
Yeah.
above it, and underneath it said, from small beginnings,
I love that.
greater things. And it's just a reminder about Mark chapter 4.
You know, it makes me think of like the way that if you take like a spring or something, or you compress something, you're like building up all this energy inside the thing. So it's like the kingdom of God is like this tiny little like thing,
Compressed spring.
compressed spring, this compressed little seed, but like inside of it is like all of this energy being, in there that it'll just like, explode out. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, that's the love of God that's going to come out, and it's, just going to cover everything. It's just going to be, but it just makes me think of like that concept too.
Yeah.
Like a little molecule, there's so much in that little tiny ball. You know what I mean? It's cool.
Well, I think it's important for us to remember this too. I mean, as a smaller church and living in a smaller town, you can think of yourself as, or ourselves as, being insignificant in some way, And I think that's, again, what's good about being involved in missions.
Yeah.
We were both on a mission trip,
Yeah.
and being that. I think I've used this phrase a couple times now, being that big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Even though we're a small church, you go into an even smaller village and you get to have this impact, which is totally out of proportion to size. And the kingdom of God is like that.
Yeah.
You have that opportunity to influence people for their lifetime, for generations, for eternity. You have all those different opportunities to do that. We can't forget that.
Totally. And a lot of times too, if you go into those places where, that are, in the eyes of the world, even more significant than when you're coming from. So a town that's even smaller than yours, a church that's even smaller, and they're doing great. And they're just like loving each other well, And you know, they're taking care of one another, and they're seeing each other for who they really are, type thing, and they're coming alongside each other in joys and in sadness and all of these other things like we see in the early church and everything. And you realize that they're doing that and they're smaller than you are. Then it starts to get you to think, oh my goodness, again, what is insignificance? Like, what is that? What am I thinking? What am I feeling this sense of like almost shame, oh, we're not as grand as we could be, type thing. And it's like, no, that's not how this whole thing works. It's not about that, because look at that little village. They knew how to pray before we got there. They knew how to read the Bible. They were already there. They were already talking to Jesus before we got there.
Yeah.
Type thing. So yeah, it is important to remember, and going on missions and things like that, just encountering other people and other lifestyles, that's the only way that you get more perspective on this whole thing, on this whole life thing. So, totally.
So maybe with this comparison to the mustard seed, Jesus is kind of taking that whole concept of insignificance off the table. Saying, hey, insignificance happens in the kingdom of this world, but it doesn't happen in the kingdom of God, or it shouldn't happen in the kingdom of God.
That. Yeah.
And every time we kind of sniff it out, we can point to it and say, hey, that's not part of our value structure.
Totally.
As Jesus followers, that has to be put off to the side.
Totally.
Because we can fall into it in our own thinking about
Yeah.
ourselves, about our actions, about our involvements, about so many different things.
Yeah.
Right? And
Totally.
yeah. So this is just one of 6 things
Yeah,
that David spoke
Yeah.
about. So we could obviously spend a couple hours talking about each one of
Yes.
those, which we don't have time to do. But again, great message. I would encourage you to go back and listen to that and kind
Definitely.
of count out those 6
Oh,
points. And
wait,
those 6
one
passages.
more.
Wait,
I
what?
think, wait.
Do we have time?
I think we have time.
Okay.
I don't think we've been here that long. But it's just not a little thing, but just something to think about. rebels are often like not given the benefit of the doubt. I think that was one of the things that he like opened the whole thing with. And maybe like what we should just leave everyone with is the continuation of the thought, like giving people the benefit of the doubt, like letting people kind of be authentic, maybe, like, like just be authentic and be real and be you. For myself, like one of the things that like helped me when I was, going on my own journey is thinking like you want to be healed from something, or your life is hard and you want God to like help you in that. And then it was this realization that like I have to be the real Angelica for God to encounter me and heal me. You can't heal something I'm pretending to be because it's not real. God can't talk to who you're pretending to be. You have to really be you and really just like rest in that, be introspective in order for that transformation to start to happen. You want him to transform something you're not, that doesn't even exist. So giving people the benefit of the doubt, that means like when people do come in, not perfect, oh, wonder of wonders, we're all not perfect, then you're gonna be patient and you're gonna love them, you're gonna care for them, and you're gonna not try to immediately, enforce your life structure on them. This is what you should do. This is X, Y, and Z. I know how to fix you type thing. Like, I don't know. Anyway, because yeah, rebels are often misunderstood, and a lot of times it hurts not being given the benefit of the doubt, as that's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to you, as probably happened to everyone. So let's not do that, basically. Like let's go out and be like kind. Yeah, and remember that like we're all people, we're all God's creations with like this innate beauty in us. So like just chillax, be kind,
Just chillax.
just chillax.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
serious.
if I can find one of those fallen mustard seeds, I mean, it goes back to that
I put
as
one in
well.
there. Yeah.
That the now you made me lose my train of thought.
Sorry.
You didn't make me do it. But in any case, the idea of insignificance, that we misunderstand someone when we attribute insignificance. Oh, they're small. It's small. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have significance. But we have a tendency to do that all the time, don't
Yeah.
we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love these ideas.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of small things,
Yeah.
we're doing some new things, and if you're in the Sauk area, just want to highlight that we do have something coming up for kids, and that's the spring break escape. So Easter week, Wednesday through Friday, 9 till 12, right here at 1111 Sycamore in Sauk City. That's going to be taking place, and you can register your kids online at riverhillschurch.org or on the River Hills app,
Yes.
which you can find in any of the app stores at River Hills Church Sauk, or RHC Sauk. But the other thing that I mentioned in the first service, but I forgot in the second service, we're doing another new thing that we're going to be trying, and that is we're going to be egging people's yards or homes, their front door, not in the way that we used to when we were delinquents, like I
Yeah.
was, throwing eggs at people's houses. Don't do that.
We do not condone that.
Please. But we have a little door hanger, and we got some eggs that you can put in their yards. They're going to have candy. One of them's going to be empty, and it's just a way to invite somebody to Easter. And even if you don't live in Sauk, I think maybe next week we could put a PDF of that door hanger, and someone
Definitely.
could print that off and invite them to River Hills Church online.
Definitely.
That might be a cool way to do it. But a small thing, a small beginning. We've never done this before. Will it work? Who cares? If one person comes as a result, it worked. And yeah.
Do the service.
And you know what else is coming up? Yeah, we're going to cancel our Sunday service on April 21st, and instead we're going to go out and serve in our community. And again, if you're online with us, we'd invite you to come to church on Sunday. And we'll check out next week. I'm not sure what time we're gonna start.
We'll have
but
details
We'll
and
have
stuff.
we'll have some details, but you'll be able to find that online as well at riverhillschurch.org.
Yeah.
But it's really cool because we get to go and serve people in our community on that day, rather than have our regular Sunday service.
Yeah.
So now that's something we have been doing, and it's grown over time. And I just want to invite you to be a part of that.
I'm very excited for that. That's going to be fun.
Me too. But people can help us. You can help us if there are some things that you know in our community that we can help someone else with. Let us know. You can let me know at dennis@riverhillschurch.org or office@riverhillschurch.org, and we can plug that in. And also, if you're out of town, we will have a prayer group, and maybe you could just Google Meet into that
would be
that
cool.
prayer group, and
Yeah.
we can be praying together for some needs that are in our community. That's for folks who can't go out and serve on that day, but they can serve through prayer.
Yeah.
So a day of service and prayer. I think that was your idea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So very cool.
Yeah.
Smaller things,
Smaller things, but not insignificant things.
but not insignificant, because the kingdom of God is like a mustard seed.
Mustard seed.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Jesus.
Yeah.
So, anyway, hey, hope you're having a great week, and thanks for being a part of Midweek Conversation
Yes.
with Angelica
This was
and
fun.
me. This has been a great time. So,
Bye.
take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.